In the recent years, teaching has been definitely changed by online education. In fact, several videos online, and I'm speaking about mathematics and physics especially, so scientific courses, scientific videos, all these videos make use of lots of animations, images, pictures, videos to explain concepts. Now, that is very interesting, useful, because it can aid in the improvement of your knowledge. But I think that it also has downsides, because especially in mathematics and physics, where there's lots of equations to be understood, you need to do the nitty-gritty yourself. So you need to arm yourself with a piece of paper and a pencil and just do the calculations yourselves. I believe this is something essential, without taking anything away from the interesting and useful videos that you find online. There's a plethora of them. But oversimplifying concepts is not always the way to go. This is my opinion, my personal opinion. Yes, to facilitate the understanding process, it might be very useful to start by watching these sort of videos, because you can get a rough idea of what's behind some formulas, some equations, and some scientific concepts. But at the same time, if you want to dig deeper and understand the core of something, you need to do the mathematics yourself. You need to go beyond that first kind of visualization that you might have by watching those videos. And some concepts, especially in quantum mechanics, quantum physics, but also general relativity, special relativity, the complete understanding of that can be obtained only thanks to understanding the key equations behind these concepts. Yes, it might be useful, for example, in general relativity to explain the field equations by considering on one side the energy and on the other side you consider curvature. And the curvature of space-time will affect the motion of bodies. But if you want to have a deeper understanding of that, you should try to derive the Riemann tensor from other basic concepts. You should try to know what a geodesic is. You should try to understand what the energy momentum tensor is. These concepts can be derived from more basic concepts, and they will definitely help you understand this theory much more deeply. Something similar for quantum mechanics and quantum field theory. Without the mathematics, animations or useful videos will not be enough to give a clear explanation or a complete and thorough explanation. And that's why I usually try to prefer simple videos where I have a whiteboard and you try to derive the fundamental equations without the useful but unnecessary animations. Animations are useful, but in my opinion, equations take precedence over that usefulness. And that's why it is basically my way of teaching. Yes, I know that it might be difficult sometimes, because if you get stuck, you can get a little bit annoyed by the fact that you are stuck and you do not feel confident enough to understand those concepts. But everybody who has studied those equations somewhere just got stuck. And in my opinion, that is an important moment, because it's where you try to do your best to try and understand, and therefore your thinking pattern, your thinking process will be amplified, intensified from being stuck. You will think harder to try and grasp all the concepts. It happened several times with some of my students, and at first they actually were quite annoyed with it, and sometimes they even left a bad review. But after some time that maybe I gave more insights and I added more explanations, some mathematical explanations and physical explanations, they were really grateful for that, because all those efforts were definitely paid off by the fact that they managed to understand what I was trying to convey in that particular course. And this is, in my opinion, one of the methods that can definitely help you improve your knowledge of difficult concepts. And they can be supplemented with animations or explanations without equations if you want. That's the path that I recommend. Definitely. And I'm not saying that there's just one method and that's the best method, the one that I use. It's not like that. It is my preferred method though. And this is what I basically say to those people who ask me to enhance my courses just by adding some animations or visual improvements. I don't honestly care about that. Can be very useful. But the learning process in my opinion, is not only achieved with visual aids and with the help of technology. Remember that the greatest scientists in 1900s did not have technology. They only had pieces of paper and pencils. They used to write on a piece of paper, and they managed to create the great theories that we have nowadays without these great tools. Our human mind needs to think without getting distracted by technology or all these applications that you find online. Technology should be used as a guide, not as the end-all be-all. Sometimes it might also have downsides. And I said that in previous videos regarding all these applications, all these smartphones, all these computers that keep you continuously busy without thinking. Your mind is always occupied with something, doesn't have time to think. There is a great Veritasium video about this, about boredom, and you have to be bored sometimes to be able to think. You gotta have time for yourself to think without doing anything in particular. All this continuous stress for your mind, for your body, is not good. And I see that also at my workplace, where we are continuously bombarded with emails from customers that we have to reply to regarding the machines that we sell. And especially in this specific historical moment where lots of components cannot be easily found on the market, and the time to deliver our machines is going to be extended a lot because we cannot ship the machines without the components. All of this is contributing to creating an atmosphere of utter stress because we have more machines to handle at the same time. Since we receive several orders, but at the same time you also have to manage all the machines that have been previously sold but not shipped yet. And I think that there are other industries worldwide that deal with similar problems, not just the world of wrapping machines. Anyway, that said, this is just the message that I would like to get across today. But yeah, we'll keep in touch. Bye.